everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be giving you guys the best Bollinger Band settings for 2026 for day trading. You know why? Because most day traders throw Bollinger Bands on their chart and never touch the default settings, which is absolutely crazy because those defaults weren't built for day trading. That gap is costing you a lot of signals that you could be using to make money. So today I'm going to be giving you guys the exact settings to fix that and make a consistent profit. Let's get into it. And I want to make sure you guys stick around to the end. I got one setting that almost nobody in retail trading uses because only the institutions know about it, but it's how big money is actually using Bollinger Bands to read the price and find some great opportunities for buying the dips that nobody sees coming. So you guys are going to definitely want to wait for that. So before that, what exactly are Bollinger Bands? They're going to be three lines that are wrapped around any given price. You're going to have a middle band, which is just a simple moving average. Then you guys are going to have an upper and a lower band around it. The distance to those outer bands uses something called standard deviation. That's just a math word for how much the price actually moves. So when the market is volatile, the bands are going to be expanding, and when the market goes quiet, they're going to be contracting. Think of them more like walls in a hallway that breathe. When the price moves fast and hard, that wall is going to be widening out, and then when that price sits still, the wall is going to be squeezing in tight. That squeeze is going to be your setup, and that expansion is going to be when you are trading. Now, here's what most traders are getting wrong these days. They're going to be treating the upper band as a sell signal and the lower band as a simple buy signal. In a ranging market, that can work, but in a trend, which most of us like to trade in, price can walk on that band for a very long time, leading you to sell and watching the price continue to go higher and higher and higher, which is just something we never want to see happen because it happens more than you would think, right? So that's not exactly a sell signal. That's going to be a strength if you think about it in different terms. That band doesn't tell you what price is going to do. It tells you where the price is right now. And that context is everything when it comes to day trading. So let's get into it. The 5-minute chart first. We're going to be getting into these settings here, so please make sure to pay attention or rewatch the video again, of course. This is where most day traders are going to be living on that 5-minute chart. You're going to be looking for fast moves, quick decisions, and no time to wait. So you want to make sure the settings are exactly where they need to be. And the default settings here are just too slow. No. So I'm going to put the full settings on the screen for you guys. We got option A and option B for the 5-minute chart here. Option A is going to be your aggressive momentum setup. Option B is cleaner, but still fast. Real quick, guys, if you guys can give this video a like and a hype, I would appreciate it a lot, just so YouTube knows this video is here. I want this video to be pushed out to more traders who actually keep on using those default settings because the defaults are not the best. But let's get to option A. I want you guys to use the EMA, the exponential moving average. For the source, I want you guys to use the high, low, close 3. And for the deviation, I want you guys to use 1.5. So let me break down what this means for you guys. By dropping the length down to 10, that means you're going to get more signals and they're going to be happening a little bit faster. You're going to get a much tighter read on the price right now, which is going to be very, very important to make sure you guys don't miss out on those moves. Because you're switching from the simple moving average over to the exponential moving average, this is going to matter a lot. That exponential moving average is going to be weighting the most recent candles more heavier, so you just have a little bit less lag, which is very important when it comes to day trading. So your middle band isn't going to be dragging from a few candles back, basically. It's going to be right there with the price, ultra fast reaction time, which is what you guys need for day trading. And then that high, low, close 3 is going to be the average of the high, low, and close, not just the high and low. So instead of just having that close there, you're going to get the full candle, the full amount of information. It's going to be smoothing out those wicks without actually slowing you down, which of course is what we're talking about here. You need that speed to be a day trader. Now, by dropping the deviation to 1.5, you're going to be tightening those outer bands. Like I said, that price is going to be touching them more often, so more signals. But here's where it breaks down for you guys. If we get into a choppy market, those tight bands are going to get pierced a lot, so be careful. You're going to see false signals everywhere in a range. So if price is just chopping, wait for that squeeze to happen. Wait for that price to actually start breaking out. That breakout is going to be your signal, not just the touch alone. You need to see the activity for you to be excited about actually doing some day trades with these Bollinger Bands. Here's how I personally use option A. Normally, I'm going to be watching for the price to push with some volume. So if it doesn't reject, that is going to be what you call a band walk. I'm going to be long right there. If it lags and it hard rejects, that's going to be something I fade. And personally, you can try to short that, but if we're already going on an upward trend, I'm not. What is the next cryptocurrency doing? And move on. Now for option B, we're going to be changing things up just a little bit here. I want you guys to have the length to 20. We're still going to be using the exponential moving average. For the source, we're going to be leaving it closed. And then for the deviation, we're going to be bumping it up to 2.0. The same period as default, but one change that matters a lot. The SMA is becoming the EMA. On the 5-minute chart, that one swap is going to be changing everything, and it starts to make a little bit more sense, specifically because this is going to be a slightly different strategy than the last one we just talked about. Here's why. The SMA is going to be weighting the candle the same. A bar from 20 candles ago pulls just as hard right now. On a fast chart, that old data really isn't helping you, especially because you're looking at the now and not trying to see the whole picture, if you will. That EMA band is basically going to be tracking where the price actually is right now, especially if you guys even upgrade it to a DEMA, a double exponential moving average. That can also give you some good signals as long as it's paired up with some few other things here. But I want you to think of that middle band as your permission line, not just talking about the upper and the bottom bands. Now we're talking about the mid one. If the price is below it, you guys are only going to be looking for shorts. That EMA is going to be tracking the flipped a lot more precisely and giving you the tools and the excuses you need in order to actually make a trade. And maybe excuses isn't even the right word, maybe the permission to actually make that trade. However, just like the other tool here, where it starts to break down is if things get choppy. If you're seeing a whiplash choppiness like that, don't trade. Wait for that overall trade to start hitting. You can trade these specifically when you're looking at a larger breakout and you're looking at volume building up. This is where those 5-minute charts really make you some good money. Or right at the beginning of the trading day, if you guys like to do stocks, when everything is popping off and you see the move happening very, very well, that is a great opportunity for you guys to do it. So in a strong trend, the setup is going to be very, very, very good. But in the chop, you're going to have to confirm with something else with an RSI or the volume. Otherwise, it's just going to be a little bit too risky for a new investor to try to make money using the strategy. Real quick, guys, if you guys do want to trade these setups live, I have a cryptocurrency exchange link and trading view link down below in case you guys want to use them. But now I want to talk about the 15-minute charts. Now the 15-minute chart is a completely different game. You guys aren't necessarily scalping anymore. You're riding a move for 30 to 90 minutes. Less noise, but a lot more structure. And you guys are going to need settings that match that. And that's what we're going to be working on today. Just like before, I'll put both options on the screen again. For option A, that's going to be your clean institutional setup. And option B is going to be the one that almost nobody in retail uses. But once you see why, you're going to understand it instantly. So for option A, we're going to be having the length of 20. You guys are going to be using the simple moving average. Your source is going to be closed and your standard deviation is going to be 2.5. We're going to be going back to the simple moving average here, and here's why. On the 15-minute chart, you don't need the same type of speed as we needed with the 5-minute chart. You need accuracy, and those simple moving average filters are going to filter a lot of that noise a lot better than the exponential moving averages. The simple moving average treats every candle the same. On the 5-minute chart, that's going to be a weakness, but on the 15-minute chart, you want that broad structure to understand what's happening. That slower read is going to keep you out of a lot of bad trades. The real move though is that we're pushing up the standard deviation up to 2.5. Those wider bands means that the price must move more to reach them. So you guys are going to get fewer signals, but each one is going to be carrying a lot more weight. Exactly what you want to be holding on to for a trade that's going to be lasting an hour or 2 hours or even 4 hours longer. And again, here's where this trade actually starts to break down. It's going to be breaking down in low volatility periods. When the market goes dead, wide bands give absolutely nothing. Their price is just drifting inside of them and it never touches. When that happens, go flat and wait it out. You guys have tons of other stocks and cryptocurrencies to trade. Move on, come back, set an alert, and you're going to be fine. But here's how I'm going to personally use this setup. I'm going to be using the price tags on the upper band in an uptrend, then pulls back. So here's how I personally use this setup. When the price tags the upper band on an uptrend, then pulls back, that retest of the middle band is my long entry. The middle band is going to be that reload zone, and that's the trade. You hit the upper band, we come back down to retest the middle band, and then from there, I'm buying the middle band after we have popped back up, not when the candle's testing, but when we've held, boom, maybe a hammer candle perhaps, boom, that's what I'm going to be buying. For the length, you guys are going to be setting it to 20, the deviation 2.0, and the source is going to be high, low, close 3. But here's the change that makes it a little bit different. You're going to be swapping out the simple moving average to a whole different ballgame. Most traders have never touched this one because there's usually nobody that ever talks about it, because most YouTubers only know the basics of trading, because that volume weighted moving average is going to be weighting the middle band by the volume, not just what the candles are doing. A high volume candle moves up more than a quiet one, and that's going to give you a little bit of an alert saying, whoa, something is happening here. Institutions are actually buying. And this is how institutions actually look at charts. They look at a lot more volume because they're trying to figure out what everybody else is doing that has all of that capital over there on Wall Street. Now, of course, you guys can guess where the downside of this really comes from. You're not going to be able to use it if you have low volume. Outside of market hours or a day, or a dead midday session, that volume weighted moving average is going to get erratic with nothing to weigh it down or weigh it up. So I want you guys to stick to those peak hours, the open and early afternoon. That's when you guys are going to have a lot of use coming out of this. But if you guys want to test it out, this is how I personally use it. So I'm going to be waiting for a pullback to that middle band after a large boost of volume. If the volume drops off and the band holds, I'm going to be in. You know, the initial bag was bought, so to speak. It's moving up, a little bit of a retest. Boom, it's going to continue to go higher and higher, which is something that is going to make you guys a consistent amount of money. Now, I want to make something very, very clear. Bollinger Bands are not a clear buy and sell signal alone. They're going to be a context tool. They're going to be telling you guys where price is and not where it's going. And by that, I mean, just make sure you guys have more context on top of just what you guys are seeing with the Bollinger Bands. These settings will work a lot if you guys understand the overall trend of the market. So adding something like a MACD or a stochastic or an RSI, or even just understanding something like the average true range, ATR, all of those things are going to be able to help you understand, oh yeah, we're seeing strong momentum to the upside, so therefore I only want to be doing longs when I'm day trading. Typically, you're going to see traders who blow up their account just reacting to the band touch itself. The ones who really win over time already know the overall trend. They already know that the volume is there, and they're using a band as that final green light in order to give themselves permission to make that trade and risk their hard-earned money that they've worked for. But here's what I need you guys to do right now. I want you guys to take all 4 of those setups, both time frames, and I want you guys to go back on the last 60 days on TradingView for looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, and I want you guys to act like you're trading live, and I want you guys to see which of these setups is going to help you guys out the most. That's going to be very, very important that you guys are able to see what's working, because what works on Bitcoin may not work on Ethereum. What works on Ethereum may not work. Hey everyone, today's sponsor is Weeks, a global crypto trading exchange where you can trade hundreds of cryptocurrencies, use futures and spot markets, and even copy expert traders, all from one secure platform. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description below. Thanks.